And welcome back to week 9 of the NFL. And last week, I was like 9-6. That's not too terribly bad, not really that good. But last week before that, I was 10-4. Of course, with the added, only 2 teams on the bye. We're going to have a pretty tough time getting 10 games right. As 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, maybe less than that games this week, but usually there's 16. 13 games this week. It don't look like a lot on the screen over here, but it's going to be something worth waiting for, I suppose. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. And starting off, we got a Sunday matchup, only going in order, between the Carolina Panthers and the Cincinnati Bengals. The Panthers losing in overtime to a pretty crazy game. DJ Moore was pretty kind of stupid to take his helmet off. And, the rest of that story. And, they're set back on the field goal line and missed the field goal to possibly win the game. And stupid decision by Marcus Mariota not to go for it. Might as well take it in overtime. And they kicked the game in the field goal. The Bengals losing in kind of a blowout to the Browns. And, Burrow's never won against the Browns. They didn't have Jamar Chase. That was probably one reason why they didn't win. They had some more injuries as well, and that's that. But I will take the Bengals to win this one just because I believe the Panthers, they miss a lot of people. Now, they will score some points. They're going to have to take the lead back maybe once or twice in this game. But finally they'll pull away and, do what they can to win this game. So I'm going to take the Bengals to win this game by that score on your screen. Houston welcomes you, Philly, on a Thursday night between the Eagles and the Texans. The Eagles keeping their undefeated streak going against the against the Steelers. Steelers looked like they were trying to come back. But just down 2 scores now, you made down 3 scores, it just wasn't going to happen. The Texans, possibly the worst team in football, only got 1 win on the season. And, this is tomorrow night, so, there really isn't that many good games on this weekend. There's a possibility Sunday night. We'll get to that in a minute. Maybe Monday night, maybe Sunday afternoon. I guess the best thing I got hope for to watch for is, we'll get to that in a minute. Maybe there's some good games, maybe low-key good ones, but you just never know. However, I will have the Eagles to win this one. It's going to be pretty hard in the first half. It might be tied. And for that reason, I'm going to have the Eagles winning by 3 scores. And, we're going to see how the Eagles can stay undefeated throughout the rest of the season. They only need 10 games after this, maybe counting this one. But they only need 10 games, and they're going to be undefeated. They're not even halfway through the season, but they could go undefeated and be 17-0 the first time in NFL history in a regular season because of the extra game. But Eagles win, hard way in the first half, easy way in the second half. And next up, we've got 2 pretty bad teams between the Raiders and the Jags. The Raiders getting shut out on the road against the Saints. The game wasn't even close at some points in the game, but, first half, second half, both halves just could not get it done. Shut out. The Jags, they had every chance in the world to win that game. They should have won that game. Could have kept the momentum riding in this one. That's why I'm going to have the Raiders winning this one just because they're a much better team then, well, I mean, they're a much better team than the Jags are at this point. Now, the Jags could get into the playoffs if they just want to, but going 2-7 on the year is not how it's going to go. Again, they could miss the playoffs this year. I mean, the best I had them was like 7-10 to 9-8. My predictions, but this just wasn't going to happen. It's not going to happen this year. Maybe not next year. Maybe next 4 years. But Raiders are going to win, going to 3-5, counting the bye week on the year. And next up, we got the Colts at the Patriots. The Colts, they lost, right? Losing by 1 point to the Washington Commanders. I believe we knew that was going to happen. Sam Ellinger first start. They're going on the road to face the Patriots, by the way, which won, went down 10-0, came back, and almost shut out the Jets in the second half. Then won 22-17. Both these teams can possibly win this game. They got two good defenses, pretty decent offenses in this game. I think this will be an offensive game, 30-20. It could be high scoring. Just when it gets to the 30s, like mid to upper 30s, it gets high scoring. Now, like 30 and below, when you start getting to the 30s, it starts getting high scoring. Like I said, 30 and below, it's not as high scoring as you think. But I'm going to take the Patriots to win by 10, 30-20. And the Colts are going to have to go home crying because they can't just get a win. They just can't. It's not possible. It will happen someday, just not this year. I'm just kidding. They might get a win for the rest of the season, but right now, just not looking possible. Patriots win. And next up, we got the Bills at the Jets. The Bills, pretty muchly, and statistically, beating up on Green Bay, blowing them out in the whole entire game. Green Bay pretty much got a garbage time touchdown. But the thing is that they're a much better team than we thought they were going to be. The Jets are also a much better team than we thought they're going to be. This is a game that they could step up in. And this is a game where we think that they can pull off probably one of the biggest upsets we've ever seen. And I said before, the Jets could pull off a big upset on Sunday. It could happen. I don't think it's going to happen, however. And I know what you're saying. The reason it's so close is because it's going to come down to a field goal for the Bills to win. The Jets will probably try to pull off an upset in this game. They say they're a good team. Without Breece Hall, they're obviously not that good of a team. They got James Robinson, who can run the ball. They got Zach Wilson, who can throw the ball, but they're not as good without Breece Hall. They need him. Sadly, not going to have him for the rest of the season. But, getting James Robinson probably saved their season, but we just don't know it. We want to see the Jets versus the Giants. We just will not get to see it this year. Maybe next year, whenever maybe they're a little bit better. But this Jets team could go to the playoffs and could potentially get an upset. But I have the Bills winning, going to 7-1 on the year, and getting the win. Possibly running away with that division. But the Dolphins are on their tail in that division as well. But Bills win by 1 point. And next up, we've got the Titans at the Chiefs. The Titans winning their 5th straight game. I think they were on a bye week. No. Wait. They're 5-2 on the year. Yeah, they won 5 straight games after going 0-2 to start the season. Of course, with that bye week, they still won 2 more games after that. And the Chiefs, they had a bye week the week before that. They won against the Niners in what was a comeback, but they still won, and they kind of blew them out in the second half, by the way. Both these teams could potentially win this game. I got it being a close one. The Titans won against the Chiefs. They won against the Chiefs at home. They're not at home. They're at Arrowhead on Sunday night. And, I mean, they had this being a Sunday night football game for a reason because, well, for one, it's the AFC. Two, it's, a decent team who hasn't really played that many good teams. And this is like one true test to see if they are for real at 5-2. However, I do have this being an entertaining game where the Titans will probably take the lead maybe once, maybe twice, but the Chiefs are going to pull away with an 8-point lead to win the game on Sunday night. Going to 6-2 and could run away with that division. They could, but the Chargers could be behind them in that race for the AFC West. But Chiefs win on Sunday night. And I can't believe that Miami logo is so big. Anyway, the Dolphins at the Bears. The Dolphins. Well, they were on the road against another NFC North team where it looks like they were going to lose down 14-0. My goodness. Miami, what's going on? But then in the second half, they won outright by 4 points, 31-27. See, I told you it was going to be a high-scoring game. And the Lions are going to contend, but it wasn't the high scoring as the Bears and the Cowboys. Now, the Bears obviously losing piece by piece on their defense. They still got, some kind of secondary, just not much. They don't have linebackers, no defensive line, and maybe secondary in the future, but just not this year. And then, Miami picking up Bradley Chubb in a trade. By the way, Roquan Smith said that he was shocked, but he was happy that he was with Baltimore. So, maybe, we get to see him on Monday night. First time in purple. But here's the thing. I believe that the Bears defense will show out because, look, although they did have this defensive line, I'm talking about the Browns. Even though they did have a defensive line on Monday night, they still won. Even though they had a lot of pieces gone, they still won. They're going to contend, make this a close game in the first half, but the Dolphins will pull away in the second half, 38-16. So, I'm hoping for an upset, but I believe that two will do just enough, more than enough, to get away with the dub. Dolphins win. Trying to win the division, as I said. Trying to keep up, by the way, with Buffalo in that division. We're going to have to use this Georgia logo till I find the Packers logo. The Packers at Detroit. The Packers losing on Sunday night. Getting embarrassed on... Oh, here it is. I mean, it's the same. Like, Georgia. Like, why? Anyway. The Packers, they are in panic mode. There's no doubt about it. And the more and more you look at their logo, it looks less and less like a G. Like, yeah. But anyway, the Lions also losing, but in a close one. They got too much of an offense for the Packers to even comprehend, I think. Because, look, they play close with good teams. In my opinion, you could see the Lions being like Appalachian State. No, they can contend with good teams, they're, Titan killers, as some would say. They can be Titan killers, but they don't have the defense to keep up. But that's why I see this being the game of the week. I know it's hard to get 43 points. Not as hard, also hard to get 33 points. It's going to be an interesting game. Field goals will try to be made. Touchdowns will be made. Maybe some 2-point conversions in there as well. Maybe a couple safeties. It's going to be the game of the year. Lions, I don't know if the Packers are favored or if the Lions are favored, but it's really kind of a 50-50 matchup. I think the Lions will pull off the upset in this one. I did pick Green Bay at first just because they're a better team. But I think that the Lions are hungry for kneecaps and upsets. That's what they're hungry for. And I believe they're going to get it here on Sunday. Maybe you'll get to watch it. Maybe. But you never know. So Lions win, kind of an upset. They won here last year in Week 18, although Green Bay didn't really care. They had the 1 seed. But the Lions still won. They can do it again when a lot of things matter. They're going to do it on Sunday. Lions win. And next off, we've got the Chargers at the division-leading Falcons. What? Hang on, what? You just said the division-leading Falcons, who are expected to be in the bottom of their division at the end of the year. I mean, since the end of the year. Expected to be the bottom of their division pretty much the entire year. Have won 4 games out of 8. And they're 3-1 at home. And you're telling me that they just are 4-4 right now and have that division locked up because each and every single one of that team in that division has either 3 wins or less. And Brady obviously is not 7-0. He's 3-5 right now. That's insane. This game will be kind of close, I think. I think that the Chargers are going to play close with these guys, and the Falcons are going to play close with these guys. I don't know how healthy the Chargers are. I don't know how healthy the Falcons are. The Falcons just gave up Calvin Ridley. Although they've won 4 out of 8 games so far on the year. Here's the thing, though. I hate to do this. The Chargers are going to come back on the Falcons. And I know what you're saying. I don't want to do this at all. Like, you can say, oh, there's no way you can do this. Well, there's a way I can do it because I don't want to do it. And I better speed up because my battery's almost run out. Anyway, the Chargers are going to win 35-32. Another game of the year, the week. Sadly, Falcons may lose that division. And that's that. But Chargers win anyway. And next up, we've got the primetime matchup between the Ravens and the Saints. And it's hard to score the same amount of points you did in the next 2 weeks. Well, in the past 2 weeks, but you can do it. The Ravens are going to win because they got a good defense. The Saints are going to contend because they got a good defense and a very shifty offense. They're a balanced team. They're going to try to win back-to-back games not back-to-back, but back-to-back games for the first time this season. And really, they should be one of the only undefeated teams in the NFL as well. They should have the 1 seed because they win close games, they choke away games. Now they're starting to get the rhythm going. They're starting to see what they are built of. And they're going to win on Monday night and pretty much win against the Saints. They will not go marching in on Monday night, by the way. Scratch that. They will go marching in, but they will not go marching out. Sorry. And next up, the shoulda, coulda, woulda matchup between the Bucs and the Rams. The Rams losing 31-14, getting blown out by the Niners. It wasn't even close. It's basically a home game for the Niners. The Bucs, Brady just is depressed right now. He's lost his wife in a divorce, and I feel like I'm going to get caught for saying stuff like that. But who cares, right? Brady lost on primetime, got embarrassed on Thursday night. They got embarrassed on national television. And they're the Super Bowl champs. Who am I going to pick? This is the hardest game to pick for anybody in mankind. However, I see Brady getting his revenge at home. Last year, the Rams were 2-0 against Brady. He's going to start out possibly 2-0 this year. I just think that Brady is going to win. He's lost 3 games in a row. He's potentially going to lose 4 games in a row for the first time in his career. And we're going to see some history being made one way or another that the Super Bowl champs are going to be 3-5. It's impossible to happen, but it can happen. Brady's going to get the win some way, somehow. Possibly America's game of the week, I think. But Brady wins. And another team hungry for an upset. It's the Vikings at the Commanders. The Vikings winning in a close one against the Cardinals. Cardinals also that scary midway good team like they were last year. Just they're not looking that good right now. Same with the Commanders. They're 4-4 right now. They got a chance to be contenders. And Tyler Heineke is 2-0 this year. He was 4-0 when they were 2-6. And now look what we've got. Maybe we get to watch this one. But here's the thing. I picked the Vikings to win 24-20. Now the Vikings will have to come back in this one because the Commanders obviously played good last week and the week before that. So watch out as we head into this week of football. And last but maybe not least, the Seahawks at the Cardinals. The Seahawks won 3 straight games, and they're 5-3. What is this year? We expected these guys to only win like 2 games, maybe 5 games. They've already done that. Can they win one more? Well, the Cardinals on the way stopping. They played good against Minnesota last week. They should get the dub, right? Well, I see the Seahawks winning by 2 touchdowns. Now, I get what you're saying. The Seahawks were very much the underdogs in this game if they were the opposite of the record. It's awesome that the Seahawks have a worse record, have a better record than Brady does. Brady's going to go into Munich in 2 weeks as not 5-4, 4-5, maybe 3-6, which would be something. And I might pick the Seahawks in that game, but the Seahawks are going to win. They're going to run away with that division. Now, the Niners are the only ones stopping them from taking that division. The Niners are also hungry for the Super Bowl. Obviously off this week, and that's that. So Seahawks win, keeping that division in their tracks. In their towns, should I say. And that'll be all for this week, as it was a pretty good week, I should say. 9-5. I've averaged like 10 games in the past couple of weeks of, predicting them right. Maybe 9, but, first week only got 8 games right. Most I've gotten is 11. So we can keep that momentum riding or we cannot. So this is all for this week. It'll be week 10. And week 10 will be a pretty good week heading into that one. See you guys next time.